Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Chaos Magic Monday night. Open Minds, Open Mic. I'm John Michael, joined by the beautifully talented Miss Catalyst,
Hello.
and it looks like we got one hell of a lineup here tonight, and I am so excited to get going. Um, Real quick, just some ground rules. No hate speeches, no racism. Anything else is on the table, and the mic would be open. Real quick before we get started, um, I just wanna say a couple words. Just because I had a dealing with this earlier this week. I'm a mental health survivor. I think everybody knows that by now, and I have a friend that went through a severe battle this week, and so I just want to, if y'all don't mind, I just want to take a moment of silence for a moment, and try to send some energy and some love up to the stars to maybe they'll shine a little bit brighter to help the lost spec get back home. Um, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Well, I'm excited to get going. We have a hell of a list here, and there's no time like the present. Um, on deck, we have Generalissimo. But up next, we have the one and only Angified presents.
Hi.
Mhm.
I'm Ange. I'm an original singer-songwriter. Also the creator of Angified Presents, and here's some nice music for you. I did a couple covers. Some you may recognize, some you may not. And here you go. Sharing with you tonight. Thanks for having me.
And when will those dark clouds disappear? And where will it lead us from here? When no loving in our souls and no money in our coats. Well, you can't say we're satisfied, and you can't say we never tried. And you're beautiful, but ain't it time that we've said goodbye? And Angie, oh, I still love you. I love you, and I remember all those nights we cried, and all those dreams we felt so close seem to all blow up in smoke. Well, let me whisper in your ear, in our souls, and no money in our coats. Oh, you can't say you were satisfied. And MJ, oh, I still love you. I love you, baby. And everywhere I look, I see your eyes. Oh, there ain't a woman that comes close to you, my Angie. And come on, baby, come on, dry those eyes. Hey, Angie, oh, my pretty Angie, ain't it good to be alive? And Angie, you can't say we never tried.
And voila. So I'm Angie.
Terrific.
What'd you guys stop that? There you go.
That was terrific.
Thank you.
Better
That's
than-
my rendition.
Better than the Stones.
Yay! Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love
Much
it.
better than the Stones version.
Thank
good.
you.
That was beautiful, Ange. I love how you changed the whole structure of the song
Yeah.
and did a reflow on it. It really, you truly made it your own. And I
Yes.
Thank
love
you.
when artists do that. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Then
you
I guess
so
you're
much.
about to be mind blown by the second one that I sent in.
So I'm trying to figure out how
Because
to
I-
share it without anyone seeing, but I'm just gonna go quickly.
It's okay. It's okay. They can see it.
Okay, here we go.
So everybody's familiar with Janie's Got a Gun by Aerosmith?
Yeah.
All right. In the very beginning, it's a little soft, but then it kind of comes into full and you'll be able to hear it. I have two lovely friends with me on guitars here. So there is two guitarists, my friend Sam and my friend Bill. So, but this is my rendition of Janie's Got a Gun.
All right, here we go.
Hey,
there you have it. The reason I actually covered that song is because writers don't get enough appreciation. And so a lot of times people hear songs, but they don't actually like look at the words or the lyrics to them. And that was one that everybody's like, oh, Janie's crazy running around when you actually realize like what the true story was with Janie. And so that was a cool reason that I covered that song.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I
Thank
love
you.
it. Everyone,
Thank
give
you.
it up for Ange.
Yeah, Ange.
Way to go,
I love your
Ange.
takes on the covers too. You really make them yours, you know?
Thank
It's
you.
great, refreshing to hear, a song that you enjoy, Angified, Great.
Glitter.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
like
plus
that.
when somebody makes it their own, you can feel the emotion coming through versus when you're just doing a cover for cover.
Correct.
You know, it changes the whole energy of it, and that, I really respect that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing some of your own personal writing, Angie.
Okay. Okay. Kat, did you
Because
get
I
that
know you
other
like
one that I
poetry.
sent you was oh, you want to hear some of my poetry?
Uh,
We'll
Generalissimo,
actually
you
save
might have
that
to
for
join
next
us for,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
Generalissimo, you might have to join us in on a Whip It Out Wednesday with Ange.
Yeah.
Whip it
We would
out.
love to have you.
That sounds like something that I might be embarrassed by.
Oh, no, no, no. It's
It's
whipping
work in
out, which stands
progress,
for works in
WIP. Yeah.
progress. That's what we all are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'll send you
Well,
details on it. We'd love to have you one week, man.
Absolutely.
Well, I would
well,
love to.
everybody unmute and give Angie some love one more last time.
Yeah,
Thank
And
Ange.
you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Woo.
I want to go to one of your concerts.
Yay.
Where are you located, Angie?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay.
I got my concert tickets on pre-order. They're not even out yet. That's how pre-ordered I got them.
All
Well,
Well,
stay
right.
up
tuned because I got
next,
a couple songs I'm releasing this year.
beautiful, beautiful. On deck, we have Jacob R. Moses and Douglas Cala. But up next, we have Generalissimo. Go ahead and take the mic when you are ready, sir.
And thank you again for
Well,
your spot, General.
this was actually written in 1995, and it was actually written as a song, but I don't sing, so it's called Nobody Knows Nothing Anyway. Some people claim they knows all the facts. Some people claim God gave them the axe. Some people claim they know the world like the backs of their hands. Some people just bury their heads in the sand. Some people claim they know all the answers, but never give answers away. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people won't kiss unless they can kiss and tell. Some people worry they'll end up in hell. Some people got pushed off cliffs and some fell. Some spent many a night in seedy motels. Some people don't like their lives, so they sell their souls away. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people live, sleep, and eat in the streets. Some people do whatever they please. Some people eat lobster and beluga caviar. Some people just ride round in their Mercedes-Benz cars. Some people serve other people food from sterling silver trays. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people always wanted to be class clown. Some people lost the desire to clown around. Through Jesus, Elvis, or Buddha, some people get found. Some people scream loudest without making a sound. Some people run round and round in circles every single day. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people live life for yesterday. Some people live life all work and no play. Some people live life like tomorrow is the end. Some people live life in a world of pretend. Some people like life the way it is, or so they say. Nobody knows nothing anyway. I thought tonight I'd also go ahead and read some lyrics from a Bob Dylan song called Everything is Broken. Broken lines, broken strings, broken threads, broken springs, broken idols, broken heads, people sleeping in broken beds. Ain't no use jiving, ain't no use joking. Everything is broken. Broken bottles, broken plates, broken switches, broken gates, broken dishes, broken parts. Streets are filled with broken hearts. Broken words never meant to be spoken. Everything is broken. Seem like every time you stop and turn around, something else just hit the ground. Broken cutters, broken saws, broken buckles, broken laws, broken bodies, broken bones, broken voices on broken phones. Take a deep breath, feel like you're choking. Everything is broken. Every time you go off someplace, things fall to piece in my face. Broken hands on broken plows. Broken treaties, broken vows, broken pipes, broken tools, people bending broken rules. Hound dog howling, bullfrog croaking. Everything is broken. Bob Dylan, everyone. Thank you.
Everyone, give it up for Generalissimo. Oh,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you, man. Great, great
Thank
choice
you
for the
very
cover there,
much.
dude. And I love how you say you can't sing, but when you read that first piece, like, I don't know, man, that was
yeah.
pretty close to singing right there. It just came out of you very melodically. So don't ever underestimate yourself, man. I love you, brother.
I would love to hear that in a song. Oh my goodness. Once we start doing the Muse I See, I'm going to request that one from you, I think. For sure.
Absolutely. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Um, well, on deck we have Bill
And
Elkins, but up next we have Jacob R. Moses and Douglas Cala. Go ahead and take the mic when you are ready, gentlemen.
Hope everybody's doing well. Doug and
All right,
I
guys.
are,
Yep.
yeah, Doug and I are performing together. We have a book that's out now called Tuesday Night Beats. It's available on Lulu, will soon be available on Amazon, all other online book retailers, but it is available now. So we are going to do a duet from our book, Tuesday Night Beats. I gotta pin myself, and Doug's gotta pin himself too.
I already did. It's called Rapture Gone Viral. That's the name of the poem.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, here it goes. Isolation inebriates my soul. Getting out often requires too much energy. In a post-COVID world, gray hues spread morning dew. The focal point of stimuli gets overwhelming. Sirens blare, people in despair, difficult to bear witness to a society hell-bent on capsizing in a river. There's a shortage of buoys. There's no more room on the life raft. People clamoring for survival in droves. A dove descends on a violent crowd and dissipates a shroud.
Cloak the ever soaking of floods, the kind taking the form of population density, entropy of a pandemic everlasting. Was the rapture before our current tribulations? Was this the rapture before our current tribulations? Are there greater signs of the world ending on the horizon? We regarded the wealthy as more worthy. Now they weave invisible clothing for all.
Wearable devices blur the technological line. I wish we were living in a simpler time where core values reign supreme. Kids playing stickball in the street, elders commiserating with youth, stoop kids trading in-depth conversations after they leave school. These days, cesspools thrive most. No gallantry to be had. The world's quickly going mad. Difficult to remain remotely glad as sadness pervades and a malaise manifests.
A friend once looked for our childhood home on Zillow, but can I go back home again? Born again, neighbors touted Jesus while little terrors in the neighborhood rode their bikes around our house. But it was a home. And home is where your heart splatters in your darkest moments. It's where your most triumphant victories are stored on shelves, knowing you did more than participate. It's where memories become memoirs.
Memory is that what makes life personal, observing contours of the faces of the people you meet, greeting them enthusiastically in the street, a tearful goodbye or an embrace-filled hello, warms the spirit and binds humanity to its greatest values. We need to reverse the tectonic shift of device reliance glued to screens that depersonalize the human experience. Living gets over complicated with their inclusion of fusion of parts and chips instead of the merger of torsos and hips. Maybe we all need to get a grip.
Firm grip on humanity, sperm drips on insanity. We must never breed inanity in a world yearning for the actual truth, and not the manufactured clickbait that awaits the gullible lullaby, itching to soothe the world, waking up cusps containing Gemini. Enemy, thy name is dishonesty, so honestly embrace your individuality, knowing you need to embrace theirs for the world to survive.
Home.
Wow, everyone, give it up for Jacob and Douglas. That was
Yeah,
incredible.
I love that. That line to cusps that include Gemini. I was born June 21st. I'm on the cusp of Gemini Cancer, the summer solstice. So that line personally hit me great, man. Y'all together are just incredible. Both of your guys' writing complements each other so well. Look, it's awesome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
That was
And
absolutely
if I don't
beautiful.
Greatly
mind
appreciate
asking,
it.
is your book released again? You guys have a duet book you said that was released?
Yeah, it's called Tuesday Night Beats. It's available on Lulu. It'll soon be available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all the other major book retailers. But it is called Tuesday Night Beats. We will get the link up.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Excellent.
That
Yeah,
was
thank you.
absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much for that.
Oh, thanks, Doug.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Yep, it's in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. I was just
Thank
searching
you.
for it. Perfect.
Well, on deck we have Thomas Open Minds, but up next we have Bill Wilkins. Elkins, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, thank
Take the
you.
mic when you are ready, sir.
Okay, the first one, I'm going to do two songs. The first one will be a cover song written by Donovan. It's entitled Epistle to Durrell. I hope you like it.
Bill, we can't hear your guitar. Do you have original sound on?
Oh, no, I don't. There.
All right, thank you.
Hear it now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Come all ye starry starfish living in the deep blue sea. Crawl to me, I have a proposition to make thee. Would you walk the North Sea floor to Belgium from England? Bring me word of a banjo man with a tattoo on his hand. The spokesman of the starfish spoke as spokesman should. If you met our feet, then certainly we would. If you cast a looking glass upon the scallop sand, You'll have word of this banjo man with a tattoo on his hand. Come all ye starry starfish, I know your ways are caped. Maybe it's because you're astrologically shaped. Converse with the herring shoals, as I know you can. Bring me word of the banjo man with a tattoo on his hand. The eldest of the starfish spoke after a sigh. Youthful as you are, young man, you have a wisdom eye. Surely you must know a looking glass is made from sand. These young fish are fooling you about this banjo man. Come then, aged starfish, riddle me no more. For news I am weary, and my heart is sore. Along the silent seashore, help me if you can. Tell to me if you know of this banjo man. All through the 7 oceans, I am a star most famed. Many legacies have I lost, and many have I gained. Strange to say, quite recently I've been to Flemish land. And if you are courteous, I'll tell you all I can. You have my full attention, I answered him with glee. His brother stars were twinkling in the sky above the sea. So there I sat, there with rapt attention on the sand, very anxious for to hear of the banjo man. I have seen this tattooed hand through a ship porthole, steaming on the watery main, through the waves so cold. I heard his tinkling banjo, and his voice so grand. But you must come to Belgium to shake his tattooed hand. Oh, gladly would I come, gladly would I go, had I not my work to do and my face to show. I rejoice to hear he's well, but I must go inland. Thank you for the word you brought of this banjo man. I walked along the evening sand as charcoal clouds did shift, revealing the moon shining on the pebble drift, contemplating every other word the starfish said. Whistly winds, they filled my dream in my dreaming bed. Okay, that's the first one. And the second one is a song that I wrote called My Diamond on Black Velvet. Hope you like it. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. I kissed you quickly, afraid of your body, in terminal sedation. Rest my traveling animal, like a diamond on black velvet, silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. If I could, I would. No longer greeting, 4 feet heavenward. Time to lick the wounds of mortal agony. Find meaning to your loss, like a diamond on black velvet. My beast with cause, my beast with purpose. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. You know I would. Under the guise of snow, the gray clouds pass, like a brooding poet, impossible to weep. No longer laugh, behold, your journey is accomplished. You are silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. Glance the others wistfully sigh, and are confused and restless. Your absence leaves a void, which they struggle to overcome. You are their diamond on black velvet, 'cause they love and miss you so. They are silent as air and still as stone. If I could weep, I would. If I could weep, I would. If I could, I would. I am in angst, waiting for the rain, waiting for the white rain to fall like diamonds onto black velvet. Yeah, to fall like diamonds onto black velvet. My dearest Francine Blanche, you're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. Yeah, you're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. You're my precious diamond, my diamond on black velvet. Thank you. Did I lose you?
No, thank you. That was amazing.
That was absolutely beautiful.
You
I could
didn't lose
listen to you
us.
all
You
night.
found us.
Yeah, we all found ourselves because
Well,
of
thank
that.
you.
Truly, I'm wowed. I was just like in a trance the whole time. That was really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was so
I don't
Absolutely.
see
fun.
anybody. Okay.
You can't see us?
Well, I'm
Well, we're
glad you
here
like
though. We're definitely here.
it. Okay. Okay.
Man, everybody unmute and give it up for Bill. Absolutely
Here I
beautiful.
am.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Bill.
are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you
Absolutely
find us?
beautiful.
We
You
love
made
you.
my day. Thank
You
you.
made our.
It's definitely a mutual feeling. Thank you so much.
Hmm. Well, on deck, everybody, we have Blxck Sxlt, but up next we have Thomas Open Minds.
Oh, yeah.
How y'all doing tonight? Thank you for being here. Um, yeah, Mondays are gonna be really cool again, man. We got some wonderful things coming up. Fridays too. I think we just locked down another dope feature. So stay tuned. Um, I have a cover that I want to read from none other than Brian Generalissimo, and I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones too. So when you sent me this, the car excited, right? And then I'm gonna do a collab that part of the Epic collab. John, my work brought Blxck Sxlt into it, and we have a little bit we're gonna share on that. But first, yeah, this is From Squirrel to Eternity, written by Brian Franco, Generalissimo. I saw a squirrel with a penguin in his mouth, twice the size of its head. This torn apart the pine cone so it didn't look like a pine cone. It looked primal. But the squirrel was fluffy and cute. I thought to myself that primal and cute never happened at the same time. I needed a picture. I walked on the corner and the squirrel was just sitting there in the shade under a bush on a 92-degree Maine July afternoon. I lifted my phone photo. The squirrel dropped the pine cone into his little paws. Motherfucker! I don't give you permission to take my photo, like filming me to make me a fucking meme for your fucking human friends. Will you fucking just post online? He put the pine cone in his mouth and jetted fast as fury, dodging and weaving a bevy of pine trees like a high trophy winner. He took shelter in a group of sculptured yews. I knew I'd never get the shot. I walked away, and a pine cone that must have been hit the middle crossed arms over his earnest, Borgny and said, "Take a photo of this, motherfucker." Thank you, Generalissimo, for letting me read that one. That was dope. Okay.
Can you come inside for the one?
You want me to do it now?
There.
Okay. And then give me 1 second, and we're gonna get this collab going.
I had to go rescue him. It was just not working.
I
Okay, one sec.
absolutely love that poem, though.
You want to jump on this one? Stand by for technical difficulties. Do, 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 do. Does anybody remember what that song's from?
Dream of Gene.
That was Dream of Genie, right?
Nailed
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So we ready? Oh, okay, I see you putting your headphones on.
Yeah, and hold on, we have pins, so we need to do spotlights. We can get the three of us. Sorry, folks, it's taking a minute. I'm here on the computer. I should be able to do this right. Okay. Yeah, Blxck Sxlt, if you'd like to start us off with this collab, this is part of the epic collab that John and I are working on.
Okay, yeah. Mic check, 1, 2. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, see thumbs up, head nods, okay. Everybody ready? John, Thomas? Okay, here we go. Sink the ship and burn the bridge. Life's too short to feel like shit. Cut the cord, now you're on your own, desperately trying to find a home. It's all too crowded in my head. I guess I belong on the edge. Life's too real, life's too loud. I'm in a dream, fading in and out. Thomas, you're muted. I think Thomas is muted.
Oh, well, that sucked. Okay. Fading in and out. Okay. Twisting into myself until my insides shout. We rip ourselves in two pieces with 3 eyes closed. The light is time for those 5 words to escape. I need to fucking sleep. My bed then turns into a cloud and I forget my name. This head is churning with loud, relentless sounds from deep within my brain. See, rain falls, then evaporates into fog, leaving a haziness for my laziness to slightly slouch in.
The crouching tiger about I'm in, relentless and paid less than the average bear. I'm being sincere when you're sitting there, but I forgot this thought I'm having. Wait, where? Waiting here in this waiting room of REM sleep, digging deep, dissipating in this dream state.
Woke up in a rabbit hole. When I came to, I was 30 years old. Life is short, but the day is long. Blink and you'll miss it. Try not to sleep through it, because the good times flash like lightning, and when I sleep, I roar like thunder. A little music to complete the cipher. I'm hunched over, ready to pounce on my pillow.
I drowned in a mellow vibe while I ride freely from the things that haunted me dauntlessly. I'm flawlessly flaunting this psychological mind thriller in and out of the next layer of the willows, wandering, stopping, pondering on the things I've seen in these dreams. Secretly, I spontaneously break free from these themes until I somberly wanderlust, fully engaged without a prior engagement with the Messiah who praised it. I'm an incoherent income tax burden sent to murder you and whoever heard of you. An injustice heaven sent to make a better brood, just to write a better word for you.
But instead, I pursue a different avenue to rock on down to take it higher, electrically on fire, this satire of thoughts that rocket through this mind and space and time. Yet I unwind in this reclined state, sedated, inundated, trying to relate to the last thought that I forgot in this stream of consciousness.
Through it all, I keep one eye closed, hiding from the dark assumption of getting old. My bed has started growing mold, but one day I'll wake up and this'll all be over. Each day I live, I spill time's cauldron. And every night I wake up to go to the toilet
natural songs to herd me out of my slumber for number one. I crawl slowly back into the hell mouth of my queen-size mattress, lay down beside my queen, she's fantastic. I pray that we thrive in this new year. No more stress in this waking life, yet something doesn't feel right. I looked left, and there was nothingness. Mixed with my shallow breath, the stars are hiding from me. I can't quite figure out where they are. This must be a bad dream. Where did I park my car? Somewhere in between these streets, I hide scars from myself so I don't see them. If I close my eyes while they're already closed, then how am I supposed to open them once more?
So I open this door, a dream within a dream. I scream in shallow silence, for this abyss is what I miss. And the world, once warm, now cold, will only restore the nightmares that call me from afar.
Thank you guys.
Peace.
And thanks for doing that collab with me. Thank y'all. We love y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all give it up for Mr. Thomas OpenMinds, Mr. Blxck Sxlt.
Yay!
And,
John and John Michael, your host tonight. What?
That was
and
dope.
thank you, thank you. Blxck Sxlt, do you have one more piece for us?
Yeah, I got a piece. Yeah, this piece is called, yeah. This piece is called Black Cats Too Witchy to Function. And this is just kind of like about because I'm a spiritual person, but there's a fine line between spirituality, witchy, and too witchy to function. And so this poem is kind of like about that, because I can get a little bit too witchy to function sometimes. If you ever saw me like with all my jewelry on and my religious symbolism. So, this poem is kind of like about that. So here we go. Called Black Cats Too Witchy to Function. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Solving the following riddle will reveal the awful secret behind the universe, that you and me are secretly the same person, separated by the poison coming off their lips, blind and ignorant, declaring, "He's a witch!" An accurate assumption. Where there's rain, there's thunder, whistling in a storm, because my awful secret is I'm secretly the reaper. One of these things is not like the other. I get it. I'm a little too witchy to function. Antlers, lucky scissors, obsidian, and black salt in my cauldron reveal the awful correspondence that we live in fear, like deer caught in Hecate's light. I'm trying to untangle Loki's knot before the spider bites. I am the fool on the edge, the 22nd card in the deck, root chakra on my hip and voices in my head, heart chakra on my sleeve, red fire in my chest, smile of a wolf, clever as a rabbit, hunts like a man and manifests like a goddess. Original Sekhmet, witchy as a black cat, and my awful secret is I'm never coming back. And that's real magic. And that's Black Cat's Too Witchy to Function.
Wow.
That was absolutely fire.
Oh,
Mind blown. That's my new favorite one of your pieces.
Absolutely. That was fire, man. Everybody unmute and give it up for Blxck Sxlt. What an amazing piece, and what amazing, absolute amazing performance of it too. Incredible,
attitude.
incredible.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was very healing in its own way for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Thank you.
thanks for doing that collab with me, man. With me and John, man. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, yeah,
And we want
yeah.
to do another section
Excellent.
of that too. We ain't finished yet. There's more, so stay tuned, folks.
Well, moving along, everybody. Up on deck, we have Boo, but up next, y'all, please welcome Richard Spisak to the room, please.
Thank you. May I have a share screen possibility, sir? Gentlemen and gentle ladies. Thank you so much. I've got a couple of pieces to share with you. My first is my import. It's a poem by Crowley called Oviariotomy, and it's for Gustav, you know. Here we go. He writes a poem about a surgery, you know. I love you, lass, and you alone. What shall I say now? Death and life wrangle before the Jasper throne and cry to God to end the strife. Kind words, a little good advice, patience, fortitude, and prayer. Tracks are so suitable and nice. Oh, dear child, there'll be no parting there. Oh, bourgeoisie, you read, no doubt, but still you have a lot to learn. I am a lover, not a lout. My thoughts take quite another turn. I, who have bitten through your skin, envy the surgeon who could dip his deft and conscious fingers in your bow and twitch a scornful lip. I would have paddled in you, played childlike and cloudless of your pain. I would have kissed the wound and made a pleasant ripple in your brain. Within this startling levier mouth, new cut, my brother, torch should flare and pour to ease the awful drouth. The poison of a Baudelaire. Oh, fool, not thus the intimate gives up its secret to the soul. Truth flies beyond inviolate and slips beyond the glancing goal. Who probes the body gains a fact, yet leaves an equal fact behind. So gathering for the cataract, roll up the rapid waves of mind. Swift as the light at last they leap into the chasm of despair. Of all their freshlet force they keep but froth and smoke and empty air. Oh, fool, to deem dissection, truth, and paint in patches but a blind. The enthusiasm of a youth is worth the sage and cynic mind. Oh, Buddha, couldst thou nowhere rest, a pivot for the universe? Must all things be alike confessed, mere changes rung upon a curse? I swear, by all the bliss of blue, my fern with her powder on is just as false and just as true as your disgusting skeleton, each to his taste. If you prefer this loathly brooding on decay, I call it growth and lovelier than all the glamours of the day. Which of us likes his health the best? You, who find filth on every floor, or I, in the privy, who attest us something worthy to adore? The end is, you're always sick. You always quarrel with your meat. My raptures follow fast and thick. I even tend to overeat. You would not dally with Doreen because her fairness was to fade, because you know the things unclean that go to make a mortal maid. I, if a rotten corpse were mine, would take it as my natural food, denying all but the divine, alike in evil and in good. Aspasia may speak in me close, and lies load me with disease. Poor pleasures, bitter bargains, those I still despise, Diogenes. Why must the prig be still the judge? The deadly lively's audit life. Ask of the drone about the drudge. Compute the mistress by the wife. Why? Because Jesus helps them to. Converted William snubs the king. No doubt the soapy, godly crew can turn their hands to anything. Alas, the days of Christ are gone. The callous king supports the snub. Compaspe's lips gush lathe on the schoolboy trickster in the tub. Oh, restless rats that gnaw the bones of Aristophanes and Paul. Come up to me and Mr. Jones and see the rapture of it all. This moral sense is sorry stuff. You take the peas, give me the pod. Follow your fancy far enough at last. You'll surely come to God. And now for something completely different. This the new government we're about to have is going to protect us from, women and brown people and yellow people and red people and all those other people that aren't, white. So I call this closing diversity's door. Zuck says yuck to DEI. What's to hate in the end? Isn't it really about everyone being the white man's friend? If only loudly to say again, only the Lord himself is above the white men studied, sullen, studied, but the bitter end. All those darker hue on hue. Didn't they never get the news? You're excited. I know you are. We're riding, but don't kid yourself. You'll be out back pushing the car. I'm the white man. I'm in charge. Aren't you just ecstatic and enthusiastic watching me out there, aromatic, living large? Yes, you'll attend my ship of state. You may admire me. Just don't forget you'll be down below labeled free. But hey, you know I'm great. I really rate. We'll be stealing from your long lost state all the things that enrich us. Wait, minerals, forests, waters too. We may even need your creatures for our zoo. Oh yeah, we'll steal your labor too. We'll take that, by the way. I'll probably need a brand new hat. We'll need a couple mansions and a great big boat. Of course, all my loans will gather round and you'll wear them tightly round your throat. And all those women that we cheaply employ, make sure they know how to bow and curtsy to our boys. Sure enough, they've had their day in court, but face it now, well, past that last resort. Don't you really want our protection? We think so. While we admire each passing mirror, our gleaming, masterful reflection at such perfection, purge from our sight, obscuring the chattel. I guess we'll enjoy the sounds of your chain when they rattle just like the bells upon our fine chocolate Swiss cattle. Go ahead, complain. We thought you might, but after our sanctimonious talk of Christian values, you know deep down, well, we really believe my friend might is right. We'll take Panama and Greenland too. Perhaps we'll make Canada a state now, wouldn't you? We'll maybe invade Mexico. Yeah, we might. We'll sneak in from California and Texas some deep dark night. No more DEI. I don't think we can. Besides, after all, any real big mistakes must be done by a man. And then, last and certainly least, this is called oily grammar phobe. Now, you know, AI, right, is infecting all kinds of places, all kinds of. Guess what? They have made an AI priest hologram to take confessions, and it's actually installed in Switzerland. A holographic AI priest. Here we go. The intercessional confession compels and allows the vows, and thus the purging of our soul's sweet indiscretions. And with his silicone kiss, the rattle-tattle of the walking robot stroll through to skinless, sinless valleys, thereby to regain control. Oh, our dear, if recent, frequently tarnished immortal soul, returning cleansed, now it were unsullied to the elect celestial role, no longer mocking peanut butter without jelly rolls, where priestly distance behind the grill upon the cringing penitent does instill by recreating fresh distance from the act, reduced through the retelling, no longer lidded hidden fact, releasing the soul through prayerful purgative sanctioned tract, and now freed through the beastly priestly penalties of 12 Our Fathers and 15 Hail Marys, returns the soul to the fresh and blessed state of gleaming garden fairies function stroll. But in this age we find the parish priest freed, new found release from the salacious duties such as these, now consigned and digitally realigned and combined in the holographic project of the newest Jewish Testament, a fresh and even digital connection designation. The ancient Jewish wisdom has now been ported, uploaded, and is now 24/7 computer tech supported. AI trained by sermons lasting, no longer priestly halos thrashing, bearing the burden of these sinners. Buddy Christ is now the token, with a warm and friendly voice, the holographic plastic Christ invoked in, and now AI woken. Priests in Zurich town have been relieved, no longer passing judgment on these heavy listening sessions. Can you believe? Sinners' penance now calculated to 15 decimal places, sealed and stated. No longer content in Latin, Aramaic, or even Greek, they've encoded the New Testament in AI speak to give way all that troublesome priestly grief. No longer listening behind the grill for more serious duties. If off you go now, and with a will, parishioners faced with this upgraded digital Christ find him reassuring, patient, and even nice. With homilies and encoded text, who knows where the mighty digital Jesus will go next? The most patient penitent will observe, except during rebooting his welcome quotable downloadable words, while digital Jesus is reconnecting to the web. Exactly what was that Judas so clearly and pointedly said? As long as Wi-Fi Jesus is disconnected, not one of your sins will you identified and be recollected. The blooper reel will be concealed until the tech downloads the files. That much, for humor's sake, we will reveal.
Oh, that was wonderful,
I
Richard.
really love that.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, my cheeks hurt. Everyone, give it up for Richard.
That was amazing.
I really love the way you read too. I mean, I love everything that you do. Thank you for being you.
Joe. Better
I
bring him on
really
the collab.
appreciate you.
Very kind.
You're a fan of Alistair Crowley. That tells me a lot about you.
Do what thou wilt.
Shall be the whole of the law. All right, so up next we have Boo. Are you there, Boo?
I'm here.
Yay! You bless us with some words, darling.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one that I did last time, but I said it too early, so it wasn't recorded. And Dad told me that I had to do it again, which I'm cool with.
Buddy.
But, okay, this one's called Family. Hopeful dreams torn from the scenes of your imaginary reality, intertwining with the sensuality of my deepest desires. The only thing certain with me is uncertainty, nobody knowing the absurdity of where I come from. Deep in my heart, the thump of a caribou skin drum as my ancestors strum from their souls. So fragile and untold, their stories eventually unfold of the abuse and torment scratched like notches onto the walls of their souls. Smelling like burning sage my grandmother used to cleanse me with, I find myself yearning for the days I spent with her. When she put eagle feathers in my hair and sewn me a jingle dress. I was young with no stress, teaching me how to bead necklaces and lighter holders. The boulders of the past still lie on my shoulders. In a state of catastrophic alcoholic, my grandmother calls me slurring her words. The memories of us blurring, it hurts. I miss gardening with her and picking worms. My stomach churns at the thought of the future. That's why I avoid it. Devoid of joy at times, but I get by one day at a time. I'm still living though, aren't I? Talking with people and them asking what my ethnicity is always ends up a mistake. You're too white, you're not dark enough to be native. It boils my blood and sticks a hot poker through my soul, so I no longer feel whole. Not accepted for who I am. I don't understand why they can't see that my culture is in my blood and not my skin. My patience always wears thin with humans, naked rats with a hell of a mouth and fists. I'm not quite sure why we exist, but I guess I won't complain as long as I get to obtain the beautiful memories I have with my chosen family. Angrily wanting to forget my old family who threw me aside and decided not to provide. I'm so thankful our universes had to collide. Who knew they would have provided me with this beautiful comfort I call poetry? Hopefully I can continue on progressing socially in the OpenMinds open mic. I have anxiety as tall as Mount Everest and a deep gnawing anxiety in my stomach with teeth. But they ease my mind while I rhyme, seeing them climb to the top of the world, even with the struggles of life. I feel blind to the fears I had before. My spirit parents bring me to tears with the support they give me. They have it down to a T. No he, she, just we. I got one more. This one's called Mental Monsters. Living inside my own head with the demons I call home. Who would have known I'd grow up like this? Trauma kicked me in the face and mental abuse shattering my bones. I no longer have the energy to hone myself clearly. Deep in a catatonic state of mind, I wake up feeling almost blind to the monster inside my head, tearing at the walls of my skull. Gnawing its dull teeth on my brain matter like a flea-ridden vermin. You can smell the decay grieving from inside of who I once was. Who I was? I don't know who I am. Floating in this bubbling vat of boiling blood and bones, fur and toes, the stench will make you crinkle your nose. The saliva of a rabid beast tearing my insides out with a snout so ferocious it kills itself. Torn apart by its own malicious intent, how intense. Like a three-headed hydra, it comes back in plenty, leaving me feeling a multiplex of empty. How petty of a life to live as a mental monster. I've fostered this demon for far too long, so now I must grow strong to kill it with its siren song. I've tried and tried, slashing at this demon with a prideful stride, but I've never won. No use for a gun, we'd both be gone. So I go on and on, finding ways to cope, but the nights grow longer and my demon's stronger. Maybe I'll lock him in a cage in the far corner of my mind, scratching at the bars, unable to go very far. I need to tame the beast that is my own mental illness. But how does one cure such an elaborate sickness that has no business tearing my psyche apart? The beating of my own heart is dimmed by the loud drumming in my ears. Having spent my years like this, I grow more resilient to this delinquent. I'm trying my fucking hardest to win this battle, but this shit makes me seem insane. All those nervous breakdowns must have disdain and anger in my brain. I'm fucking drained. The animal eating away at my consciousness, locked in a cage in the corner of my mind. I watch it as I cry in a ball of burnt down pride. I'm done with you. I can't take it any longer. I grab a bottle and a cloth that I'd brought from my alcoholic days, and I shoved the cloth in the bottle during a fuzzy haze. I took my lighter and I set fire to this cloth, swinging my arm back while having no thoughts. Throwing that bottle with all of my might is my last try, a desperate cry for help, but my aim is precise. I hit that cage despite having a fire ignite in my soul, watching that demon go ablaze along with all of its intent. Now that's intense. Have I finally done it? Is my mind no longer invaded by this jaded beast who feasted on my thoughts? For now. I'm not sure for how long, but I'm rid of him for just right now. Silence at last, finally being able to put that episode in the past. But I know it never lasts. So savor the happiness. You can go take a walk or maybe make a flight plan to a vacation far away from your mind in the deep depths of psychedelic drugs. He still tugs on my shirt at times, but just remember to pay him no mind. And poem.
That's my kid.
Wow.
We love you, kiddo. That was so dope.
Love you too.
Holy shit, dude. That was amazing.
I just want to give you a big hug right now.
For
that was
real.
beautiful. I felt every single letter of that in my soul. And
Do you know where I can
just
buy a ticket to take a vacation from my own mind?
Sometimes you just gotta get away, man. It's too much.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
That was
Oh, you
absolutely
killed it, man.
amazing.
That was fucking dope, man.
For real. I'm speechless in a good way.
Everybody unmute and give it up and show some big love for Boo. That
We
was
love you,
absolutely
Boo.
amazing. One love.
You're
Mommy and dad
beast.
love you. Mom and dad love you.
Wow.
You.
Love you guys too.
Amazing.
Well,
Oh,
on
that's
deck we have Marianne Tefft, and up next, the one and only Paul Skiff.
Get this thing up on screen. So this poem is meant to be offensive. And if you don't like offensive, difficult poetry, it's time to mute. Let me make sure I can get it up on screen. All right. Fuck you, pussy. Don't push me. I'm a prophet. I'm on first name basis with every crack in the pavement from here to 207th Street. My favorite crack is the one with all the empty shell casings that were swept into it by the NYPD after an immigrant cab driver named Amadou Diallo had 41 caps emptied at him by 3 detectives for being AWPOP. That is African pulling out a phone. Every time I saunter by, those spent rounds call out in Amadou's voice, asking me how tall his children have grown. Some of those rounds went into the bottom of Amadou's feet. That's the way my feet feel after years of standing 24 hours asking for a dollar bill. Fuck you, pussy. Don't push me. I'm a prophet. I was supposed to grow up to be the President of the United States of America, but I started scrolling social apps, so my inner rhythm got DM'd by the algorithm, cornering me in aspirations minor chords, hypnotizing me with info zombie clickerism, singing in treble clef strangling counter melody. Public assistance was a better way of life, more politically dangerous than being a president, and you never lose an election. Fuck you, pussy. Don't push me. I'm a prophet. Why are you scared of me? Well, it's capitalism. Why not? My one gray sock reminds you how cold would be gnawing on your toes right now if you were suckled by food stamps and learned the ABCs filling out intake forms at the shelter. I used to be called a bum. Then I was called a vagrant. Then I was called homeless. Then I was called a member of the unhoused, like it was an exclusive high status club where being destitute, I'm a rare specimen just standing at the far back of the line to get into the American dream, the door to which I thought was much closer and just hidden under the mashed potatoes at the Sisters of Holy Pleasure Soup Kitchen. I can tell when it's going to rain. That's right. I can tell you the exact second it will rain and how many drops per square inch. And I can tell you what the billion-dollar lotto numbers are. But I'd rather see you get wet and have to ride half asleep standing up on the train again for the morning commute to work. That smell isn't me. It is oppression's perfume called concrete pillow. I left my sense of humor as a crumb for the big dog rat ruling the prowl at the A-train stop at Coney Island, a nourishment to equip him with cultural literacy needed for all the entertainment he sees on the train performed as desperate pleas for tip money. I had a job once. That's right. I once had a job pulling the skins off chickens in back of a restaurant kitchen. That is right. For some, the path to the American dream leads through the back of a restaurant kitchen and circles around a 4-foot tall pile of chicken skins. That is why I do not feel bad at all when I wake up now from a Thorazine flashback and find life is not so torturous being a hustler. A prophet. I was on unemployment once. Well, I'm more than that, but yeah, I was on unemployment once and until I predicted COVID, then swallowed what, never mind, hardly happened. Yeah, near sideways, similarly lean. Could not, maybe was here? Isn't it? Yes, that lactated probably. That is why I was really unemployed twice. I'm a prophet, but I should probably be dictator of this city. I should be dictator. I should be dictator. The mayor should bribe himself to resign and appoint me dictator. You are a billionaire of normality. That is why you are so out of touch with how insane your dull everyday life is. I saw a check from the federal government once, SSI payments. It is like free time, junk food orgasm from the heaven for ha ha ha. I'm always looking for enlightenment, and that is why I love to be tasered. Aim for the bullseye, chronic unemployment hung on my great potential to criminalize my freedom right here on my human dignity. Aim at the right side of my head. It is the quickest way to the deeply remote source of my vitality. Yes, 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 yes. My love, Messiah, is a meteor radiating out from the dog star. Lightning is just the password, the weight of temperature in your distraction. I think. When I showed up to file for welfare, the handwritten sign taped up at the end of the hall said, "Don't piss here." But I know that was done lovingly and with respect. You could tell by how precise the tape was cut. That was somebody on a mercy mission, betraying the rectifying, castigating discipline that at one time had been delivered upon them. They were now passing it all forward in the severe evangelism of better you than me. You know how some days, some days the rain, just the rain, just the rain. Some days the rain, it just keeps saying, fuck, 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 fuck. But tonight is different, because that thunder that set off that car alarm, the world has ears. Believe it. See my gold chain? It used to have the Olympic gold medal for dumpster diving on it, but I pawned that medal for a carton of cigarettes and 2 nutcrackers. I pawned that medal for business class ticket to the land of giving back to everyone, so everyone who is at risk has a chance. If they believe in what I say means we all have a way out of here, if you will just put that $500 pair of shoes in the dumpster here for me. Fuck you, pussy. Don't push me. I'm a prophet. I am a substance abuser who gave up abuse, and now I just do the substance. I accept your laughs because that is God kissing me on the genius bone. And I don't mean in a brotherly way, and I do mean in a heavenly way. Heavenly enough to make me want to drop my cassock in a rapture of reverential uplift, pull out my saintly god-headed priest and his 2 acolytes to perform the body-bumping ritual of hip laughter, cover the blessed children's immaculate, undefiled, vestal eyes and ears. Truth is, there aren't any children here. Babies, yes, babies of all ages, but there are no real children. Everyone in the Department of Health and Human Services knows my favorite color. It is wristband yellow. Fuck you, pussy. Don't push me. I am a prophet. Sure, I can turn out all the lights in Times Square just by thinking about it. But the only tan I'm ever going to get is from all that neon. I feel, wait a minute, let me make you reflect upon something like the feel of your own body's warmth in a piece of clothing you wear. The feel of swallowed water falling inside between your heart and stomach. The warmth gathered around edges of the shape where your lip was on the cup. It only means what it feels like. However many times you and the world become parts of each other, You are just looking for beauty in all the wrong places. Just so you know, I'm not out here with nothing. Wherever you are on your way tonight, be advised while you practice your public transport vigilance, what just happened was not by its very nature rational or set on logic. So there's no way to know it by thinking about it in those terms. Those terms only happened once, and that was a second ago. So say goodbye to what could have been. It is supposed to be a gift, not a petty nuisance. Wholly of what after instead listening yesterday ascends. Wholly of what after instead listening yesterday ascends. Holy, holy, holy of what after instead listening yesterday ascends. They call me a man with no clear intentions, even to myself.
What the fuck, Paul? That was the greatest thing I think I've ever heard in my life, bro.
My ears melted. That was
Right?
awesome.
What the fuck, dude? That was amazing, bro. That's
Everyone
my
give
new
it up
favorite
for
thing ever.
Paul. That was incredible. As always.
That was straight flames. Oh my God. Paul, I absolutely love you. Your writing, your delivery, everything about you is absolutely beautiful.
Well, that
Um,
was like Paul Skiff squared. That was like he outdid himself on that piece there, man. Like that was fucking next level. Like fucking holy shit, Paul. Like did the whole room just burst into flames after you wrote down that fire or what? Like
Well,
I'm
thank
feeling
you
kind of
all.
ashy.
yeah, and the way you just fucking chewed it up, man, it was beautiful, bro. Like
You know,
Thanks.
thank you for that.
Paul, it reminds me of some of the little one act shows I used to see when I lived in New York at I think it was called PS 101. That was like a little stage in the East Village.
Oh,
You know,
PS 120.
not
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah, it reminds me of something that would have been done there. You know, it's just it was a play as far as I'm concerned. You know, it was a real wonderful monologue. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Generalissimo. Thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here among you. I do have to make a negative comment. What's with people who come to a poetry reading, read their poem, and then leave? Is that community? Oops, slap me. Did I say that? Shut him up. Mute me.
Yeah, Paul.
We're
Yeah,
witnessing
Yeah.
Paul,
passing
right?
stars, right?
Nah, most of the people here are throughout the night, you know. Some people just want to come pass through or whatever, but we all have the community that we have, you know, week and week. So if there's a few people that want to come shoot through, you know, that's fine, right? At least we have the
You're
people
very
that have it.
accommodating, Thomas, as always.
Well,
Yeah, I
it's
realize,
always a pleasure to
there's
have
plenty
you,
of
you know.
people who got other things, they have their lives. It's just difficult for them to make it to something like this. So, but others,
Well, and
I
I was
think,
happy to
just
see
make it a
Rainer
habit.
show up. I was happy to see Rainer show up because it's actually tomorrow where he is in the middle of his workday.
Oh,
'Cause I
wow.
think
Well, that's another
he's in
thing. You don't know
Australia.
what time it is for people like
Hmm.
who
Well,
regularly
that's the thing too,
participate in a
right? Because
lot
we
of
do
these
this
rooms,
globally.
like Lantern Carrier
Yeah,
and some of our friends from like in the Philippines and Southeast Asia and so
yeah,
forth.
yeah, where it's good morning for them and, you know, good evening for us. But that's the fun part of doing this globally. So, like, yeah, everybody can't make it every week, but the people that do every week is just such a wonderful show. And we thank all of you guys for being here. Like we
Absolutely.
wouldn't be able to
Heck
have this
yeah.
community if it wasn't for you, community. Like it would just be me and Kat sitting in the room talking to ourselves, right? So we're glad that you guys could stop by and just bless us with your talent and the inspiration. Like my writing has like Paul, what I just heard now, like that, like you just changed the game for me, man. Like that was some next level writing and performance, brother. Like that was.
That was amazing.
I want to thank you all. But just y'all really made the last 2 years of my life much better.
Likewise, feelings mutual, Thomas and Catalyst and John Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very honored and proud to be a part of this family. And I'm really happy that I found all of you. Each and every one of you inspire me in so many different ways. And yeah, I mean, your words really mean so much to me and so much to the world. And I just thank each and every one of you for sharing them.
Like
So,
shout out to Zoom for making all and I guess in a weird way the pandemic to make all of this possible. Because if it wasn't for either of those two, we probably wouldn't be sitting here in this room, and I would have never known who Marianne was. I wouldn't know Nadia. I wouldn't know John. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for Zoom and the pandemic to kind of force people to reach inwards to reach out, right? So that's why I feel that the spaces that we hold here are just so important just for humanity, just because of our positive energy here. I feel like we're somewhat radiating positivity in the surrounding areas. So again, like just thank y'all for being here.
absolutely. Well, up next, well, on deck we have Nadia, which I'm excited to have back this week. But up next we have Marianne, and I am so excited to hear Marianne read this piece. Marianne, I just love all of your work,
Thank you,
and
John. I
thank
really
you so
appreciate it.
much. Yes.
Thank you. When I saw your post earlier, I thought, "Hey, it's Chaos Magic. Let me pop in tonight and be sure to bring a particular piece." And hello, everybody. And I know there are at least a few moon children like me in the room this evening, and it is, of course, the first full moon of the year tonight, the full wolf moon. So I had to write a little something that John discovered for the day and bring a cover as well. But one of the really best parts of being down the list and following people who walk on water is to wade into the pond with my styrofoam floaty under my armpits and just say, wow, what a super, super evening it was. And Paul Skiff knows me well enough to know that I was sitting in the Nuyo the other night going, oh my God, gotta hear this again. So thank you so much for that, Paul. What a privilege. And to follow Rick and everybody who's read tonight, just the coolest thing ever. So enough on all of that. I'd like to start off with the cover of a poem by the surrealist Paul Éluard, From the Human Face. And this is part 6, called A Wolf. Day surprises me, and night scares me, haunts me, and winter follows me. An animal walking on the snow has placed its paws in the sand or in the mud. Its paws have traveled from further afar than my own steps on a path where death has the imprints of life. Just a short passage from that particular poem, and then my own, Lone Wolf. How can you name it madness that on this brightest night of a new year, cold and young, I climb to the crest above the pines, open my jaws as if to devour the moon with teeth that reflect her risen beauty, and flex the livid ruff that follows my smile toward the stars as I call and await festive response from my cousins atop further hills. Thank you, poets.
Oh, Marianne, always such a blessing.
More.
Yeah, can we get one more? Do you have one more in your holster?
Oh, shucks. Let's see. Yes, surely not necessarily on that topic, but um, I can read you Snow Angels.
Okay.
Every kind of pain collects like snow that blows in nearly unobtrusively from the lake that shines in autumn and dims beneath the weight of winter clouds as you await the return of the luster and the rejuvenation of your spirit. The cagey flakes melt against your skin. You may be tempted to indulge in foolish thinking that no accumulation nor compounding can occur when each element is so tiny. But you are ashamed to complain when you know that others' burdens are so much greater than anything you have ever been called upon to bear. While you wait for the bulbs and corms to gather their strength and revisit in spring, you make your choice to gird your body in layers of cotton and wool, your heart and mind in pristine dreams, and lay supine in the yard to become the midwife where snow angels are born. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for that last piece too. That was, oh, wow.
Marianne,
Thank you. Pleasure's mine always.
if you could see my camera right now, that is a mountain there with the full moon just peeking above it, and the tree that's behind the house here. And so this moon
Beautiful.
is the moon that I'm. Thank you for that moon.
As
You
you
are
were
so
reading,
welcome. It's beautiful.
as
Yeah.
you were reading, the moon was right above your head for me, so that was even more special.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful, Marianne, as
Thank
always.
you. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.
Well, on deck we have Justine, but up next, welcome back, Nadia. And I can't wait to hear what you have for us.
I thank you for having me here. The cover I'm going to do tonight, it's about chronic illness. It's called A Poem about coming to grips with chronic disease by Angelica Bykowski. The reason why I want to read this is just I've been dealing with my own health flares and issues recently. So this poem, it's not super positive, but it resonates, at least for me and where I'm at right now. Once I was whole, no better than whole, possibilities strewn at my feet, choices all mine for the making. Then I got sick and broken. Now I struggle to fly with broken wings, old ambitions and desires irrelevant, coming down to earth with new humility. Always aiming for superlatives, now grounded with indistinction. My new insignificance frees me to fly from the need to be special. Now I struggle to run with broken legs, can't keep up, can't catch up, and the world passes by oblivious to my desperate thrashing. All that's gained is lost eventually. I jettiness years of accumulation, learn how much I can do without. Pare life down to bare essentials and find the remaining kernel sufficient, my load much lightened and easy to swing over obstacles ahead. Now I struggle to live with a broken spirit. This, I think, I cannot do. I languish, lacking spur of vital impulse, motivation crippled, desire withered, paralyzed by apathy, stubborn hope insists. After broken wings and broken legs, after the crash and pain of loss, comes possibility for something new. Anchorless, alone I drift, restrain my swelling panic at this formless space all around me. No purchase to be gained on these feeble clouds, nothing solid to push either for or against. I struggle only with myself, and in this void I must trust, resist the urge to close, and endure with broken, open heart. Poem. And then I have this piece I wrote while hearing everyone tonight, channeling the need to rest. And I call it Rest Like a Corpse. The mind, body, and soul demand balance. The scales teeter, searching for stillness. Rest. The unseen salve, the silent healer, a whisper guiding synchronicities to align with what's best. Resting like a corpse, sinking into the earth's quiet embrace, heals the layers of scorn, carved deep by life's relentless hands. Each attempt a new case, a different kind of grace. Lying still, like a fallen leaf in autumn, spiraling gently into its place of peace, or settling like dust on an abandoned shelf, unmoved, untouched, until time itself dissolves its weight. Quiet as a graveyard under a moonlit sky, rest becomes the ember of a dying fire, flickering softly until it finds the calm of ash. Ashes in a cold fireplace, surrendering completely, becoming one with the healing space. Still as the space between the stars, the mind drifts into a cosmic quiet, floating far beyond the noise. In this stillness, healing pours in, a restoration deeper than words, resting like a ghost in the hollow of an abandoned home, silent and weightless, or like the forest after a storm, every tree standing motionless, breathing in the aftermath of peace, motionless as a spider web in still air. Rest creates presence, a sanctuary of self-care, where the frayed threads of being can finally weave themselves whole. The mind and body were never meant to run endlessly, to grind against the grain of exhaustion. Even when the weight of external demands presses heavy on the soul, rest whispers, pause, and find yourself again. Intentional effort is the doorway, the choice to sink into stillness, to honor the body's quiet pleas, to provide healing that is inspired, that reaches deeper than action ever could. For in rest, there is a kind of resurrection, a return to balance, to breath, to the space where we become whole again. Poem.
Wow,
And
I love it when you write during the shows. Like, that's magical. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
like the grind against the grain of exhaustion. Like, what?
I
Nadia,
have,
thank you so much. I'm so excited for your future coming up and
thank
great.
you.
Like,
I
thank
Nadia,
you
have,
for what you do.
your
say
If you
writing
have
is
that,
just so beautiful.
yeah, if you have that kind of wherewithal, Nadia, I don't think any malady is going to overcome you in the end. There was something I really identified with so much in your piece, this sense of what one does when you're faced with this kind of challenge. You kind of pare your life down to just the essential things that you have to pay attention, that are just sort of the immediate things right next to you, that kind of thing. You talked about as a sense of the kind of what you can benefit from by resting, or putting the ability to rest in the middle of that malady up against what the trial that malady imposes on you, and that it's discovering your own ability to kind of be in repose that is the real strength you can put against what's attacking you. I really identified with that a lot in your piece.
Thank you, Paul. I'm not sure if anyone or who is aware, but having long COVID with many hues of labels and symptoms, including chronic fatigue, this poem just shows a part of what I'm still healing through. And I'm grateful to be able to share this with you all.
Thank you so much, Nadia.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and we love you so much.
Grateful for you all. Thank you.
All the love, Nadia. You're such a beautiful soul, and your writing expresses that in every single way. And thank you for being you, and thank you for your authentic self, and for just your beautiful words. And know that I have the deepest love in my soul for you. Um, and anytime you need a friend, I am always there on the other end to
If
be
y'all
there
don't
for
mind,
you.
can we just throw a little prayer, a little healing energy Nadia's way? So she comes bouncing back from
Absolutely.
this illness, full force and everything she had. I always find it very powerful to have a room full of poets to be silent for a few minutes and put all their intention and love into another poet. Because when you have a room full of people who like to talk, to to be quiet and send love and energy, that's a lot of power there. And we hope that you heal up good and bounce back, and keep writing because we need to hear more.
Sending all my love and energy to you. Thank you for being you. And know that every single one of us are always here for you. We love you so much. Um, on deck, we have Parquillian, but up next, we have Justine. Justine, please bless us with your beautiful words when you are ready.
Ooh, so I have something a little, I guess, fun. I was asked an awkward question about like when I started writing. So I wrote this in a bit of a response. I'm a writer when the world is too loud, when shadows creep and I seek the shroud, when vices once whispered their dangerous call. It was ink, not indulgence, that steadied my fall. I'm a writer when the dark finds its place, when it dances with light in a strange embrace. This morbid, deep, and bubbly guise, a contradiction that laughs at demise. I should have been gone, they'll say with a sigh. a wraith of soul meant to crumble and die. But here I remain, a phoenix in flame, divinely protected and unbroken by shame. I'm a writer when the grief takes its hold, when the warmth of the past turns bitterly cold. My pen becomes fire, my heart a refrain, burning through sorrow to live once again. I'll write you a love letter, sealed with intent, a message of truce that words must invent. For I am an old soul, tethered by time, crafting expression in rhythm and rhyme. I'm a writer when I see through the veil, where beauty and darkness together prevail. It's not a vice, this craft, this release. It's chaos turned art. It's war turned into peace. So let them wonder, let them scorn. I've embraced the parts they've left forlorn. For I'm a writer, alive in my flame, and through my words, I'll stake my claim. Poem. I have one more. This one's a little bit longer.
Get it, writer. Get it, writer. Oh, that was dope.
Appreciate you. This is untitled. In the obsidian hush of the midnight chamber, where shadows slither as serpents do upon damp moss-covered walls, I moved. No, I undulated, as though drawn by unseen hands. My frame a symphony of deliberate anguish. The air clung heavy with the musk of extinguished candles and secrets left to fester, a sanctuary for my desires. He lay before me, a trembling mortal vessel, his skin pale as frostbitten ivory, marred only by the frantic pulse beneath his throat. His breath came shallow, the fragile flutter of a bird ensnared. Yet his eyes, wide and searching, held the spark of something more, defiance mingled with fear, the perfect brew to wit my hunger. I saw him through the haze of the lantern's flickering light, its amber glow casting him in hues of despair. His lips, cracked and dry, parted in a wordless plea, it stoked the embers of my longing. I did not answer. What need had I for words, when the curve of my mouth, the deliberate dance of my steps, told him all he needed to know. My gown, a shroud more than a garment, clung to my flesh with the weight of the crypt. Torn and damp, it whispered against my thighs, revealing enough to ensnare him further, to leave him bereft of will. The scent of roses and decay lingered on my skin, a perfume of the grade that made him recoil and yet lean closer all at once. I reached for him, my hands pale as winter's breath, fingers as talons tracing the fragile curves of his jaw. He shivered at my touch, his flesh quivering beneath the icy burn I left in my wake. His fragility thrilled me, a violin string stretched to its breaking point. I let my lips part, crimson and wet, to whisper words that came not from me, but from the chasms of eternity. You are mine. I felt his resistance crumble as dried leaves beneath my heel. Though his body strained away, his soul surged forward, a moth entranced by the consuming flame. I leaned closer and my breath mingled with his, a fog curling between us, heavy with the taste of finality. When my lips met his, it was a collision of abysmal hunger and fragile mortality. The taste of him was intoxicating, the salt of the tears, the copper of the blood, the ethereal sweetness of life itself. My tongue danced over his, serpentine and relentless, drawing from every shudder, every gasp, every unspoken surrender. I consumed him, not with haste, but with reverence, savoring the unraveling of his spirit. His essence seeped into me, filling the hollow void that craved his light. Piece by tender piece, he became mine, until all that remained was a shell, trembling in the aftermath of my storm. As I withdrew, his form lay still, ensnared in the ruins of his longing. Yet his eyes, now dim, betrayed the truth. He would crave me still, even in the void of his existence. And I, too, carried him within me, a haunting to echo through the unending night, a love forged in the marrow of despair.
Wow. That was incredible, Justine. Like, holy shit.
You are such an amazing writer, Justine, and it's honestly been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you so much for being you and for sharing your words, and you are super, super talented.
And stay inspired and keep writing, please. Like, don't ever put that pen down. At least just for us, if anything, you know. But you need to share that shit with the world too, because you just yeah, your shit is so on point and doing like just you, you have this approach that like you're so just in tune with yourself that it's like you can come across with like almost any concept or anything and make these people feel it the way that you feel it, right? But in this very complex manner. And there's coyotes howling at the full moon behind me, so I'm getting a little distracted. But thank you so much, Disney, for doing what you do.
No problem. Thank you for the space and the kind words.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that second piece so much. Um, it's a very complex sort of set of moods and emotions. It's like you don't know uh, whether to envy this guy or feel sorry for him. But you just worked that really well. Like I said, I really like poems that aren't just so cut and dry, black and white, and leave you with a really complex and complicated mood. And that really worked up to a real pitch of that.
Thank you, Paul. That's an honor to hear from you.
All right. Well, everybody unmute one more time and just show Justine some love, and that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on here week after week and reading. I absolutely love your writing.
Yeah, Justine.
Amazing, as always. Wow.
Well, up next we have Parquillian. Please take the mic when you are ready.
All right. Thank you so much, John Michael, and everybody in the room here tonight. So, Brian cover reminded me of lyrics of Bob Dylan's song that I've become reacquainted with recently. So, this is Ballad of a Thin Man. You walk into the room with your pencil in your hand. You see somebody naked and you say, "Who is that man?" You try so hard, but you don't understand. Just what will you say when you get home? Because something is happening here, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? You raise up your head and you ask, "Is this where it is?" And somebody points to you and says, "It's his." And you say, "What's mine?" And somebody else says, "Well, what is?" And you say, "Oh my God, am I here all alone?" But something is happening and you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? You hand in your ticket and you go watch the geek who immediately walks up to you when he hears you speak and says, "How does it feel to be such a freak?" And you say, "Impossible," as he hands you a bone. And something is happening here, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? You have many contacts among the lumberjacks to get you facts when someone attacks your imagination, but nobody has any respect anyway that they already expect you to give a check to tax-deductible charity organizations. You've been with the professors and they've all liked your looks. With great lawyers, you have discussed lepers and crooks. You've been through all of Scott Fitzgerald's books. You're very well read, it's well known, but something is happening here, and you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? Well, the sword swallower, he comes up to you, and then he kneels. He crosses himself, and then he clicks his high heels. And without further notice, he asks you how it feels. And he says, "Here is your throat back, thanks for the loan." And you know something is happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? Now you see this one-eyed midget shouting the word "now," and you say, "For what reason?" And he answers, "How?" And you say, "What does this mean?" And he screams back, "You're a cow." Give me some milk or else go home. And you know something's happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? Well, you walk into the room like a camel, and then you frown, and you put your eyes in your pocket and your nose on the ground. There ought to be a law against you coming around. You should be made to wear earphones, 'cause something is happening, and you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? And then this is a poem I wrote at Tumble Words a couple months ago, and appears I haven't read here yet for some reason. This was the subject that weekend was Bob Dylan, and this is the prompt for this one was the lyrics to a Ballad of a Thin Man. So this is called A Thin Man Rolls Through Town. I exit the highway and open the door to memories that float around this fair port where birds fly high above the yard as traveling bands echo the bards who migrate through towers that cover these lands where something is happening we don't understand. If Jacob's ladder crosses the sky, can we decode these cryptic lines, not written within the finest of tomes, while wondering whether we'll find our way home? And thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Martin, as always. Love your work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's
One of the greatest word artists, I think,
not too
living
late to get a calendar
today.
if you want one or any other of my stuff. So I'll put links in the chat.
Yeah, I need to check out what you did. It's a beautiful, amazing stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks, Martin.
That was good. That was dope.
Thanks for always coming through. We just love seeing you every week.
Thank you so much.
All right, so now we're down to our last performer of the evening. I believe it is John Michael. So, John Michael, could you bless us with some words?
Thank you. Thank you. I actually have two pieces that I'd like to do. One is a mental health poem, and the other is actually a moon poem that I wrote last night. So, the first one is titled Silent Torture. Delay and silent torture as the tourniquet tightens like two hands of a noose around my throat, hinching every last breath from my lungs. Fear running as deep as my self-doubt. Deep cuts from controlling words that slash through my every emotion like a knife, lacerating me with each letter released by your pestilent whispers, leaving me covered in succulent scars from your sadistic lack of self-confidence. I hear your cadence of sibilance like a marching band within my rattling eardrums. Eye ducts all dry to release any more tears on your venomous soul. You're nothing but a poisonous plague, and yet I have survived more than you. Once I remembered who I was and what I was capable of, you were nothing but a rat-carrying sickness, and I am stronger for surviving such plagues and works of evil. I come from the darkness, and I have been beaten down by my own whispers than anything you could give yet handle. You are nothing, and I am everything. I release you and take back my soul, for I belong to fate. And you? Well, you will fall victim to your own karmic fault. And this is one that I wrote last night. It doesn't have a title yet. Each faction tested. Long live the lesson I turned blind to. Feelings, dealings of such pain, too much for my wilted soul. Self-infliction, addiction, searing, engraving each and every stroke that broke my emptiness. Sacrificial trial, the miles of denial, decades gone like the smoke I just stepped on. A facade built upon lies, denied, woven in masks of skin that I could no longer live in. Moments of flames, yet still I remain. Charred is the flesh of burnt soul, purified from within. In this moment, before the fullness of the moon, for soon I will release what's left of me, vibrations flowing through me in waves of energy, synergy surrounding me with gifts of divinity. And this moment was only waiting for my arrival to be free. Thank you.
John Michael, thank you. Thank you for what you do with poetry, what you do for mental health awareness, who you are as a person. Thank yourself and give yourself a pat on the back for the amount of change that you've done for the better for yourself over the last few months and growing like I got so much love and respect and admiration for you. I've only known you for a few months, but I feel like I've known you my whole life, brother. I just
Thank you.
I agree.
like thank you for being you, man.
Your heart is so
Thank you
full
very
of
much.
love. I just absolutely appreciate you.
I think some of us that have suffered the most just can't do anything but love and have so much empathy for everybody that's around us, you know. I mean, it's that's why I'm so adamant about mental health and um mental abuse, physical abuse, the mental abuse that we put ourselves through um is worse than anything anybody could ever deliver upon us.
I think
And
It
once
was
we
a
can
really
decide to stop
strong
whooping our own
piece.
ass, we'll be all right.
That was a really strong piece. You had this one line, I've been beaten down by my own whispers. That's such a
Yeah.
universal thing. Like you just commented about, your everybody's worst adversary is their own self. It's so true.
it is. And it's I think some of us have to go to the depths of hell in order to get that spark, like a crossroads of a sense, I think I reached a crossroads in my life where it was I couldn't look at myself any longer. Um, I hated everything that I seen and I hated being within my own skin. And it was, in that moment a choice that it was either gonna go one way or I was gonna change every single thing about myself and move forward. Um, and thankfully, I was given a space to just be me and focus on art and heal. And thankfully I chose the choice of changing everything about myself,
Yeah.
and including my
Thank you for
mindset,
that, man.
because heaven and hell is not a destination, it's a state of mind. And we control that. And the 17-second rule of manifestation, if you hold on to a thought for 17 seconds or more, you start to manifest that vibration, which, of course, then leads to an emotion. So, if you find yourself slipping, just take that 17 seconds to focus on the beauty around you and kind of reverse it back to a peaceful state of bliss. Each and every one of us have that control within us. And,
And
Yeah,
speaking of that 16 second, can we take another 17 seconds between all of us just to send some more healing vibes to Nadia Lee and anybody who's going through any mental health issues or anything going? Let's just do a general, like, positive energy vibe, 17 seconds, our intentions on at least helping one person's day. We could do that. That would be great. And another 3 seconds just for those who need a little extra hug tonight if they're cold or whatever they're going through. Just another few moments just for those that really need it today. Thank y'all for encouraging my positivity, the good vibes. I appreciate you all. I hope that we, at least did something, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
MT.
John Michael, I wanted to respond to something you said. I still don't like looking at myself, but it's not, it's more because of the self I was that I was able to kind of, grow away from. And you
Yeah, well, you
talk
can't fight
about
the beast until you become the beast, right? Then you know all its tricks. Then you can finally defeat the beast that you once were.
Well, it's a simple choice, I, I still feel it very much so, and can say I went through a mental break, or you can call it seeing the light, and maybe it was a little bit of both. But I met the devil within my own skin, and I was in the flames, and in that moment, I felt the hand in my hand that it's still right here in the palm of my right hand today, and I'm never letting go. I can't go back to where I was. That torture, that self-inflicted torture was just way too much to bear, and I refuse to do that again.
Yeah, for
And
me, it was a very practical thing I had to do, which, and you use a lot of the same imagery and metaphors. It's like I just kind of talk about it in terms of if my ego was a building, I had to vacate it down through the basement and take 7 years to slowly go back and just go into those rooms where there was, parts of me that worked and leave the rest of that building empty. Whatever became of it, to me, it doesn't matter. I had to like totally vacate who I was and take all that time, those years, to slowly find out, what parts of me were the ones that were actually healthy and doable for me to practically live in. And it was a very, very long process. And, I still have that fissure on my brain that can get pried open at any moment, but I don't have, um, I took a very long time to figure out a very practical approach to fight back the manifestations of the problems that were taking hold of me. And a lot of it just had to do with meditation and controlling my metabolism in a very conscious way, to where the point I got to the point where I could sense when my body was going to set itself up to take over from me. And so I could anticipate that and start doing the kind of mental and physical control exercises that would keep that away. But, years and years and years of trying to get that worked out.
oh, absolutely. I've been on like a path for 9 years now of, 9 years ago, I asked myself, who are you and how did you get here? What is it that happened in my life? And, I thought at one point I had it all figured out while I was spiraling right down that rabbit hole. That 9 years later led me to a point that, it's like I pile drive my way right through the crust of the earth and right down into it. And you're absolutely right. You have to discipline your mind and you have to show up for yourself every day and hold yourself accountable. Um, because, like I tell people, I don't have bad days anymore, but there are bad moments. I mean, there's moments where those intrusive thoughts creep in, and you just have to take that moment to say, not today, stop. Like this isn't even real. What are you doing? You're getting yourself all upset over some movie that's playing in your head that doesn't even exist yet.
Mm.
And it's like you said, it's getting to know your cycles. Um, I've dealt with mental health issues my whole life, and it's I know my cycles now. I recognize my cycles, and I deal with it in healthy ways, versus going off the deep edge. So it's really important to know yourself, to know the layers of yourself. Like I told people all the time, I've lived so many lives within this one life, and I've died twice as many times. Um,
Well, that's what I
you know,
say. I'm on like my sixth or seventh life at this point, and there's very clear demarcations of what year these transitions happened at and what the conditions of my life that changed from one, sort of way of being to the next. And it just seems
mhm,
to me like that's a process that will just keep continuing if I'm gonna be, be able to maintain myself as whole. And you did something very important to my way of thinking. You talked about focusing on yourself, but it's not this ego-driven thing. It's really kind of paradoxically that sort of a selfless thing. It's just paying attention to who that person is that you are so that you
mhm,
can understand that person and know it in a way that equips you to get that orientation to working in a sense with your own self through this kind of these trials that
mhm.
continually present themselves. So it is so much about self-awareness, self-surveillance, and it is an involvement with your ego, but it's not an egotistical involvement with your ego.
No, no, and in fact, I mean, everybody talks about killing the ego, but you need your ego.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to balance the ego and the soul, in a sense, because your ego is your driving force, where your soul knows where to go. So, I believe when you can balance the two out, that's when the magic happens. That's when you can really thrive. You've got that mental push of the ego to move you forward. You just have to listen to your soul and not those intrusive thoughts that come in and go out.
Well, the
Um,
ego can push you and the soul can guide you.
Correct.
Right?
That's a great way to put it, Thomas.
Right?
Anyway, um, you got me going, all you folks, but that's part of what makes this space uh, uh, magic. And let's give thanks to Gustav for the spark.
Absolutely.
Definitely. With that, I'm going to end our recording. So thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching this, thank you everyone for being a part of it. If you participated. Mwah.